This video is for the user cost worksheet training. We'll be going over a few examples of how to use this on different roadways. First, we'll go over the worksheet instruction. This shows you kind of how this the user cost can be applied on projects and work with the projects to make sure that the user cost is in the right ballpark, even after you've come up with the number in the worksheet. Depending on what the project is doing, it can be adjusted. Then there's some brief instructions right here about how, if you want to look at a quick glance rather than listen to this video or watch this video, you can get a quick refresher. And then our last example will be using this full road closure steps to get an idea of how to get a user cost for a full road closure. So our first example from a past project is looking at Region 2. It's for US or for I-80 milepost 138.7 to 141.1. So we would go into the route field and select our route number, which would be I-80, and then type in the beginning milepost to the end milepost. Just tab after each one. It takes from the AADD database the values and also the grades from a lanes database, and if you want to overwrite this elevation or a grade of the project, this takes the steepest grade, then you can, or you can just accept it and it will give you your passenger car equivalents. Then you go and select what type of vehicle or what type of facility it is. Freeway includes non-signalized roadways in rural areas, but in this case it is a freeway and an existing number of lanes. You can actually go there and look. Here we have the U-plan map, so you can see that it's close to this area. It might be difficult to see from the U-plan map, so you can go over to Google Maps and kind of go to the same area and look if it's a little bit clearer this direction. You can see one has 4, the other has 3, so use the lower of the two, because that'll get you a more conservative number, and there you have your daily user cost per lane. Or if you want to do it per hour, you can get that number. So now we'll do a different facility. That was a freeway. Now we can do a signalized corridor. We'll go down to Region 4 and do Bluff Street, so SR 18. And start at milepost just north of the freeway I-15 to 0.5 to 3. And this one seems kind of steep, so in case you actually did want to go to see what the elevations are, you could go and zoom out and go to the location of the project. And you can create a path. So in order to do that, you can go up here and click Add Path, and you're not allowed to pan once you're in the path making mode. This is the spot of the highest ADT, so this is where I'm going to create the path. And looks like we went off the roadway a little bit, so I'm going to redo that path. So you can zoom in if you like. And once you're done, you can hover over it, right-clicking on that line, show elevation profile, and then it gives you your elevation along the roadway. So we'll take the top elevation 2905 and the lowest one 277. It's about a mile long. Put that in, so we're going to override it. Again, that was 2905 2777. It's 2905 2777. It was about a mile long. That gives us the length of the road, and so that changes the passenger car equivalents. And we say that it's a signalized roadway There's 2 in each direction, so it's 4, and that gives you your daily user cost. If for some reason you were over, you might check to see if you go over the amount. It can say the ADT is either too high to assign a user cost. This could be because the grade was a lot more than expected, or there's more passenger car equivalents than were anticipated to be on this roadway. So you might check to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Or you can just go to the maximum value in those tables and take that maximum value if you're comfortable with the rest of your settings and the parameters. The last example is a one-way flagging operation. So we're going to go to US 40 for this example. We're going to do it from milepost 121.7 to 125.8. And we're good with that grade. So I'll just say don't have any more information. Then it's a one-way flagging operation. And you have to scroll down and select how long your one-way operation will be, and that will give you different values according to what your lengths are. So that is how you do a one-way flagging operation. Now if you had a road closure, here we talk about first step is figure out the passenger car truck composition. You do that from the ADT information for that area. Then you determine the detour route. So if you're, well, do one in region 1 now. So let's say the closest state route, let's say you're closing I-15 and for some reason you can't use the ramps, do ramp surfing, or maybe you can do ramp surfing, so this is going to be closed while you do the ramp surfing operation. So normally you would just do from here over to here, and you can see, okay, it's just 2 minutes. But without that, with that being closed for ramp surfing, now you have to see how long it takes to go around. And so this would give you the best ability to check that out. Looks like it's, you can change that again. So from right, we'll move it back to here. And then say it has to go through here. So you kind of see you have to use some finagling to get your detour route to cooperate, because normally people don't take that route. And in actuality, they could, depending on your ramp surfing, they could use I-15 and then get off here. But if that's not allowed, then they would have to go all the way around. So that gives you your distance greater than just that 1 mile that you'd have to travel otherwise, and then also your additional travel time, so it went from 5 to 25, so there's additional 20 minutes of delay and additional travel time or distance traveled. And so depending on your what your value of time was, that would, and your volumes, so you would need the volumes going across the road, you'd have to multiply that to get the user cost going across. That's just a high level. I'm not going through the actual calculations, but hopefully that gives you the theory of how to do a full road closure user cost. We also sometimes add additional delay if there's already existing traffic there that has normal delay. Adding detour traffic can exacerbate and aggravate delay, so you can add additional cycle failures of delay. But if you have any questions, feel free to email us at gfarnsworth@utah.gov or kburns@utah.gov. Thank you.